It's a great question. He says, how do you know if price is going to the OTE or it's going to sweep the low first? You don't. You don't know. There's actually a really good tweet from my good friend Folis about this. So he said, which one do you take? And then he posted the chart, right? So which setup are you taking? This is your low. There's your MSB, right? There's your low that gets taken out. There's another low over here. So this is a breaker plus fair value gap. This is just fair value gap. There's an order block all the way down here, and he has the OTE. He says, which one do you take and why? Here's the thing. All of them are valid. All of them are valid. But let's assume you're going to put your stop below there. This one's going to give you the best risk reward. This will give you the next best risk reward. This will give you the worst risk reward. Conversely, this one, you're going to most likely get in on a really strong move because it's going to have the shallowest pullback. Whereas this is the deepest discount, the deepest pullback. So there's a good chance that, hey, it might not always come there. So you're going to miss out on more trades by waiting for the order block. So it's not, in my opinion, there's not one right answer. It's dynamic. It's fluid. Sometimes you're going to get this. Sometimes you'll get this. Sometimes you'll get this. Sometimes you'll get all of them. You might enter here. It might come all the way down here, but then still go up. You still made money, but you would have made maybe more if you waited for here. Sometimes it will come all the way down here, take out the low, and then go. You don't know what's going to happen. But the point here is by taking these trades over and over and over again in different environments based on different high time frame contexts, you're going to find out which one maybe you prefer taking or which one is more likely to work given the other factors. And then it's just a matter of repetition, collecting the data, doing it enough times where you know which setup is the most probable in each instance. And they might not always work, right? Remember, this is not going to work 100% of the time. So he asked 1, 2, or 3. My answer would be all. Depends on the situation. It's situation dependent. So I just commented, I've had success with all 3. This is where a mechanical strategy meets discretion. Depending on the situation, right? Like if this pump, right, where it goes here, right, boom, and then if this pump is huge, the chances of it coming all the way back to the order block that generated the pump is a lot less. This is a really strong sign. There's a huge fair value gap here. I think the likelihood of it coming back to the order block is now lower. So I'm willing to bet on a more shallow retracement. Again, discretion. Discretion, discretion, discretion. Across one of the coins, you will get a setup almost every single week. It's not always going to be profitable. It's not always going to work, but it's a really good beginner framework for price action, because once you understand why Monday's range is great, it gives you the bias, gives you where you're looking to enter, gives you a target. Then you can start to apply that logic to other shit. Okay, I'm looking for a trade setup to form on PopCat. Well, why would I want a long? I don't know, maybe because I'm in weekly demand and we took out an old weekly low. And then on the H12, well, we formed a little breaker here and we reclaimed a key level. So my bias is bullish. Now you have those same things that gave you Monday, that you use for Monday's range. You have a bias. You know where you're looking for the setup. You know your validation. You're targeting above price. That's really what it's teaching you. It's teaching you how to build that checklist, right? Same with the H12, H1 system that I share with you guys. When it's like, okay, well, why is he so fucking horny about the H12, H1 system? It's like, well, if this is really your range low, this is your range high, this is your POI. Okay, now I have a bias. When we come here, I think we go to here. When we come here, I'm looking for my setup, right? We're in the discount. All of those things, it's just forcing you to learn bias, right? Where's the POI for your entry? Where's your stop go? Where's your target? And by teaching it to you in the form of Monday's range or H12, H1, I'm just giving you these in a mechanical way. But once you understand it a little bit deeper, you can use other things to determine your bias. If we just took out a high time frame low and then we reclaim it, my bias might be bullish. And then I can say, okay, well, I'm bullish. I'm going to now go look for a bullish order block to find a long. Where's my stop go? Well, it could go below that old low or below the order block. Where's my target? Somewhere to the left on the chart. That becomes your draw on liquidity. Well, what's Monday's range? We took out Monday's low. Bias is up. POI occurs at the range low. Stop goes below the deviation. Target is Monday's high. It's just force feeding you the knowledge. And then once you get used to it, you get comfortable with it, then you can start expanding it outside of just using Monday's range. One of the reasons I like teaching it that way so much is because it gives you the automatic ability to start taking trades, right? Like so many people are like, dude, fucking look, price came down into the MA and then it bounced. It's like, well, how do I enter this? Right? How do I know that I need to bid this? Because this time it comes down to the MA and it fucking nuked. Okay, well, you're bidding the MA touch. Where's the inval? How do I know where the trade, you know what I mean? And so many ways that people share stuff, whether they're obfuscating it on purpose or they're just not great at teaching, or maybe they don't know, is it takes you a while. Like, I think the best way to learn to trade is to fucking trade. And that's the problem, is so many ways people teach you stuff. They're teaching you all these different concepts. Well, this is this, and this is this, and that's that. But how do I actually enter a trade? Where do I enter? Where does my stop go? Where do I target? Get into the market and actually start executing. That's going to teach you so much more than watching 100 fucking YouTube videos.